a fan favorite from Kawasaki that may just be one of the best all-rounder motorcycles currently available today, the Z900, up against the very popular and stylish Naked from Triumph that has garnered quite the reputation, the Street Triple RS. If you're looking for a naked sportster that offers not only a lot of fun and excitement, but value for money, then these two stunning bikes are going to be at the top of the list. G'day, I'm Kwackajack, and welcome to another episode of the Versus series. This is where we take two similar bikes that you might be looking to choose between and put them under the magnifying glass to have a detailed specs comparison. In this episode, we've got the Z900 up against the Street Triple RS to analyze the styling, claimed engine and power specs, exhaust notes, weight, suspension and brakes, fuel economy, features and price to see where they stack up and which comes out on top. Make sure you stick around to the end to find out the answer to the question, which of these two presents the best bang for your buck? Also, if you're new to the channel, please do me a huge favor and leave a like and hit subscribe to join our budding community of moto lovers. Alright, let's get straight into it and have a look at the styling of these two. The Kawasaki Z900 is rocking the same Tsugomi styled aesthetic as can be found throughout the range, which means it's got a dominant front face and sharp minimalistic bodywork. The definition of Tsugomi is the intense aura or energy given off by a person or object of greatness and felt by the viewer. To Kawasaki, that means form meets function, and when looking at this bike in the flesh, you can definitely sense that all the lines are purposeful. You need to only look at the exposed steel trellis frame. I am a fan of the styling of the Z and think the only real negative of it is the stock mirrors, which are a bit awkwardly placed. Oh, also, quick side note to all those people who have a problem with me saying Z instead of Z, Z is the correct and original pronunciation and how we say it here in Australia. I believe it's only you Americans once again being different and pronouncing it Z. Anyway, over on the Triumph we have a smaller overall design which I would describe as the more stylish of the two. It's a very sporty looking bike with a high quality fit and finish, as to be expected from the manufacturer, with I think the only real point of contention being in that front headlight, which for some can be a love it or hate it type of relationship. Personally, I think it's a lot better looking than the older models and I am a fan of the classy design. Now, of course, as to which one looks better will be down to personal preference, with each having a high quality finish and unique designs that play into their manufacturer's brand. I know I'm a blatant Kawi fanboy, but for me, the Street Triple does just slightly edge it in the looks department. But comment down below which one you prefer. Alright, on to the engines. These middleweight street fighters are going to sit in a real sweet spot with their power numbers, having more than enough for the streets and highways and to be taken to the track to be real contenders. On the Z900, you're equipped with a 948cc liquid-cooled inline 4-cylinder engine that pushes out a claimed 125 horsepower at 9,500 RPM and 98.6 Nm of torque at 7,700. This is meant to be a very flexible engine, whether throttling through twisty back roads, city streets, or cruising open highway. The Kawasaki has got a very smooth power delivery to be perfect in all of these situations. Although there has been some claims that initial takeoff in first can be a bit snatchy. This is definitely not a slow bike though. That engine will give you super naked performance and push you from 0 to 100 Ks in only 3.1 seconds. And it's got a quarter mile time of under 11. That means that it is a properly quick machine and makes you faster than most other moving things on the road. As for the Triumph, well, there are three models of the Street Triple. The beginner Triple S, the Triple R, and the range topping model that we are looking at today, the Triple RS. It features a significantly updated 765cc liquid-cooled inline 3-cylinder engine that was developed by Triumph's Moto 2 engine team. It pushes out a very healthy 121.4 horsepower at 11,750 RPM and 79 Nm of torque at 9,350. They claim that this is a bike ready to be taken onto the track, and that shows with the peak power being up a fair bit higher in the rev range than the Kawasaki. Those numbers also mean that it can reach 100 Ks in only 3.3 seconds and run the quarter mile in around 10.8. This is definitely the revier of the two motors, with the RS being the raciest in the lineup and being a real track muncher that can also dominate the twisty mountains. In terms of engine and power, the Kawasaki does have the larger overall motor and produce a few more horses as well as quite a lot more torque, and that's why it is the winner in this department. The Quack will be the torquier bike for the streets, where the Triumph will love opening up the tap on those racetracks, and both should be an absolute hoot. Let's also have a listen to the stock exhausts of each, as both bike makers claim to have tuned their exhaust notes. Moving on, and we come to weight. The Kawasaki Z900 is the overall larger motorcycle in both dimensions and engine size, and comes in with a wet weight of 212 kilograms sitting on the road. The Triumph, on the other hand, is more slender, with a wet weight of only 191 kilograms. Considering the 21 kilogram difference, the Street Triple RS is the clear winner here. Will that weight difference affect the power to weight ratio enough to make it a faster overall bike? Probably not. But it will mean that it should be more flickable for the corners and track use. That will also be due to the suspension and brakes too, so let's have a look at those. This is really where we start to see these two differentiate in what they're designed and meant for. For its suspension, at the front, the Z900 is rocking a 41mm inverted fork with rebound damping and spring preload adjustability, while at the back is a horizontal backlink with the same level of adjustment. In terms of rider ergonomics, you're sitting at a height of 820mm in a sporty upright position. From personal experience sitting on the bike, I can also say that you get the feeling of almost sitting in the bike that is common with the Z lineup from Kawasaki. I think it has to do with the large tank right in front, but it really has a strange sensation at first. It does mean though that you are getting a nicely planted and balanced performer, making you feel very connected with the bike and should get a good front end feel. This machine really will excel at being a daily rider as it's confident in all situations thrown at it. Coming to the Triumph, and on the range-topping RS model, you get Showa 41mm upside-down big piston forks, which are fully adjustable, while at the back is an Öhlins STX40 fully adjustable piggyback reservoir RSU. In terms of ergonomics, you're sitting a little higher at 825mm with again an upright sporty seating position. While the overall size of this bike is smaller and may make some larger riders look a bit out of proportion, there is plenty of actual room while sitting on there. Really though, what this bike is a sport bike in disguise. The chassis and suspension here is hailed by reviewers as fantastic, offering a ton of front end feel, grip and confidence, and it's meant to be right up there with the best of the sport bikes. As for brakes, on the Kawasaki up front you're equipped with dual semi-floating 300mm pedal discs with dual opposed 4-piston calipers, while at the rear is a 250mm pedal disc with single piston caliper. It also comes with ABS, Kawasaki traction control as standard, and the levers are adjustable. Reviewers claim the brakes to have meaty tactile stopping power at both ends and be more than adequate for its size and power. The Triumph, on the other hand, has really stepped up its game in this department, having twin 310mm floating discs at the front bitten by Brembo M50 4-piston radial monoblock calipers, while at the rear is a single 220mm disc with Brembo single-piston caliper. The Triple RS also features advanced switchable ABS, wheelie control, traction control, and adjustable levers. The brakes here are meant to be fantastic, having a lot of feel and power behind them, although reviewers have claimed that the ABS can be a bit intrusive while on track, even in the lowest setting. Both the Z900 and Triple RS perform very well, having high quality parts and being able to handle a wide array of different situations. However, the Triumph is the clear winner here, featuring more rider aids and higher spec turning and stoppy bits that are designed to demolish even bigger bikes on track days. Thankfully, that also means that for everyday riding, you're getting an extremely agile and well-handling bike that can rip through local mountain roads as well as any sport bike can. However, don't underestimate the Z900 either, with it being able to carve through the twisties with ease too. Up next, we have fuel economy, where we see each of them doing fairly well. The Kawasaki Z900 is equipped with a substantial 17-litre tank, and Kawasaki claims a combined usage of 21 kilometers per litre. That'll equate to an estimated range of around 350 k's per tank, with you most likely having to fuel up around the 300k mark. Please keep in mind that real-world usage for these machines will vary depending on various factors like how they're ridden and rider size, but it should give you a rough idea of what to expect. The Triumph Street Triple RS has an ever so slightly larger 17.4-litre tank, but due to the Revian nature of the engine, it has a slightly worse usage, with an average of 19.1 kilometers per litre. What that means is that the estimated range is sitting at around 330 kilometers per tank, with you most likely having to refuel after around 280 or so. So, while both machines do fairly well in this department, Kawasaki does claim the win with its bike having the slightly better performance. But again, with these sorts of engine sizes, those numbers will change quite a lot depending on how you use them. Alright, moving on, and we come to features. In my opinion, these are the kinds of bikes people may consider as their second after upgrading to their full full license or as their one and done forever bike that can see them through. And if that's the case, you'll want them to be equipped with enough extras to keep you happy in the long term, and I think both manufacturers have done a good effort. The notable features on the Z900 include that Tsugomi styling, tuned exhaust note, full LEDs, color TFT dash with Bluetooth Rideology connectivity, KRTC traction control, riding and power modes, ABS, assistant slipper clutch, and adjustable brake and clutch levers. Considering the price, which we'll be discussing in just a minute, I believe that's a fairly decent amount of extras to have and will improve the long-term quality of experience. On the Triumph, the features include full color 5-inch TFT display, Bluetooth connectivity with the My Triumph app, carbon fiber exhaust finishing, 5 riding and power modes, up and down quick shifter, fully adjustable suspension, advanced ABS and brakes, assistant slipper clutch, wheelie control, traction control, adjustable levers, self-cancelling indicators, and bar end mirrors. So as we can see, it's a pretty clear victory to the Triple RS here, with it having more rider aids as well as that up and down quick shifter and few extra goodies. However, what is having all of that gonna cost you? We move on to our final and probably most divisive category in the comparison: price. To get yourself a brand new Kawasaki Z900 here in Australia, it will cost you $14,618 right away from the dealership. And there is a wealth of used ones on the market too, for a few grand less. Now, as we mentioned earlier, there are 3 versions of the Street Triple. The Lambs approved beginner Triple S comes in at $14,990, the higher powered Triple R is at $18,140, and the range topping and most powerful bike that we've been looking at, the Triple RS, is $19,950 right away. So, as we can see, it's a huge victory to the Z900 in this department. The Triple RS, which is the closest competitor to the Z in terms of power, comes in at around $5,500 more, and even the lower powered and less spec'd R is still around $4,000 more. This is where the Kawasaki really shines, in the value for money department. Offering a great powerful engine with super naked performance, being well equipped and not really lacking in any department, it's hard to argue with the Z900's high value for money. It is the winner in the price department by a huge margin, and for that extra 5k you'd have left over, you could probably modify it well past the spec of the Triple RS. That's not to say that the Triumph doesn't also offer value. Being one of the best handling and fun nakeds currently on offer today, it does win in a lot of categories that we looked at. It also has the brand name of Triumph behind it, which I would argue is probably seen as a more luxury one than Kawasaki. The Triple RS is a fantastic bike and would make for a terrific time both on track and the street. I'm just not sure if I can justify the price, with the Z900 sitting next to it offering a lot of the same and for a lot less money. For me, between the two, I would pick the Z900. But which one would you have? Let me know down in the comments below what your opinion is and if you think that the Triumph is worth the extra money. While you're there, make sure to leave any suggestions for which 2 bikes you'd like to see go head to head next. Thanks for watching guys, until next time. See ya!